I guess I better make a video, huh? So, 5 or so years ago, I think I bought this car in 2000 and, hang on. I found something under the seat. I bought this car, this is a 63, the root beer. I bought this car 2006 in July. And a year later or so, 2007, I moved the seat back. And I just started the job, not even halfway done. The factory, this is my 62 Spyder, by the way, turbocharged. The factory welds a nut into the floor. Nicely done. The seat frame reinforcement across the floor allows me to do the same thing, but a few inches back. And I moved it 2.5 inches back, which is in centimeters. Oh, it's on the other side of the scale, which is 6.5 centimeters, six and a quarter centimeters further back. And I rested the back of the seat on some pieces of plywood and some cardboard, and with some cushioning in the back for the differential I had to pick up at the Corvair show in Connecticut, and I never finished the job. What else is new? Anyhow, so I'm going to Sturbridge in a day or two. It's Sunday today, Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. And what I decided to do was finish the job. So what that entailed was taking out the seat, which I've done right here. And I noticed that I had put on seat bracket extenders. This is the original bracket, and it was welded on there. I put on a 1 inch or so extension, inch and 3/8 extension. Centimeters, 4 centimeters. I took it off another GM seat frame from a Monte Carlo or something that I scrapped years and years and years and years and years ago, like 20 years ago. Anyways, did it the same thing on that side, and I had just tacked it on, so one of them was just dangling. So basically my seat was held in with one bolt. Not the brightest thing. Anyhow, so I survived, and I welded it all up real nice, both sides, and I ground down the welds a little bit to make it look pretty. It's not perfect. And then I made these brackets that I saw that John Fitch of Fitch Sprint fame from Lime Rock, Fallsville, Connecticut, he's still alive, 97 years old or so. He made the Fitch Phoenix, he made my Fitch Sprint, or he made the parts for it. Anyway, so he sold a seat extender kit that had brackets that bolted to the front, and you bolted your seat through here or something, or into here, but I decided to do it this way. So I welded the nut into there, same thing on this side, welded the nut into the floor, and then I made these brackets, and I didn't have the right steel. This is 1/8 thick steel, and I wanted to use something thicker like this, fly, but I didn't have the right width, and I had a thicker piece here, but again, not wide enough, barely wide enough to accommodate the two bolts, just wider. But I decided to use this, and it's a little on the thin side, but maybe I'll go get some next week, or when I get back the week after from the steel yard, in this thickness. This is a bit too thick. See the difference? This is the same. I thought of taking this and welding it together, make a wider one out of this. Anyhow, I looked through my steel, and I had this, so this should be thicker. And this is, I hear Muggs barking, he doesn't want to be in his pen. This is what thickness? This is 1/8, should be 3/16. And this is, oops, put it in camera range. This is 1/4 inch, so it should be 3/16. And for metric, this is millimeters, less than 1/2 centimeter. It's 1/4 centimeter, which is whatever, 2.5 millimeters. 25 millimeters, what do I know? I'm not metric, sorry. So I drilled my holes, I measured, it's 14 3/8 to that hole. You can measure this. Of course, I've altered this slightly, and the back one is 14 1/8. I drilled the holes, I made them a bit bigger, 7/16, a bit bigger than they had to be. and that side's a little bit closer, and I made them wobbly. I enlarged them so I can move things around. And then I went to get the original seat bolts, and there should be 4 of these bolts. All I could find was 1. So I used some crappy hardware. I like to use genuine original hardware. I'll have to get some at Sturbridge. And in the front, it uses a different seat bolt. It uses a shorter one, but with a much wider head washer. And that one goes right there. Genuine factory original seat bolts. So, take out this extra steel. Guys are not going to like that when I get to the show. I've got some surface rust here. They're going to say, why don't you fix it up and tidy it up? And I'm saying, I don't freaking have the time to even do what I have to do. And I got rust holes in the floor. One day I'll have to put new floor pans in this baby. Yep. I'll take the seat belts out, the crappy aftermarket seat belts. I got a hole there with a big piece of tin. One day I'll flip her on her side on a rotisserie, sandblast, and make it pretty. Who knows when that'll be. So I'm going to bolt these in right now. And a little breezy outside, and the doors are swinging. Sort of half overcast. And maneuvering these seats around, they got these sharp brackets that are just looking to bite stuff. It's got this nice new interior somebody put in before I bought it. That's a grade 8 bolt. I'm going to use that somewhere else where it's not so visible. I like these dark finish, older style bolts. I'm going to make it non-original. I go to some of the car shows. They got these $50,000 restored Chevelles or Mustangs. You look underneath, it's got some dime store hardware or grade 8 hardware. It just doesn't fit the car, in my opinion. What do I know? What do I know? Carpet should go over that. This carpet is garbage. Need new carpet. Yeah, carpet's just going to cover that. Oh, shredded. I got to take a razor blade and cut these little pieces off. This is junk carpet. Junk. Like my 4-speed console. That's so rare. I've got another one that I've seen a couple of, but that one I've only seen one, and I've got it. Just luck. Saw it on eBay. Paid $400 for it. It's a lot of money for a piece of aluminum, but certain things you don't see very often. So I'll leave those finger tight so these can be moved around to accommodate this when I flip up the seat. And I'll take these bolts away. And I'm going to use these nuts to put bolts through the seat. Like that. Through the rear bracket. Up through the bottom. Like that. Or put them down from the top, I suppose. We'll see how it looks. I don't know what to expect. Been working on this for a few hours. I've got some original seat bolts here. At least when people look in, they won't notice the crappy hardware. A few years ago at the Buffalo convention, some guy had a whole box of original hardware, and it rained and everything got wet, and he had it all spread out. And I meant to ask him how much for everything. He probably wasn't there. People wander around, they leave their items for sale, and they come back later on. I meant to buy all of his hardware, all the Corvair nuts and bolts. And I never did, and that would have been 2006 that I went there, which is 6 years ago. Yeah, I sure wish I would have bought everything. I can't even see these bolts actually. Covered by the seat, and the back one's covered because the seat's going to slide all the way back. I like my seat all the way back. So, I'm going to put my seat into place, and I got the interior vacuumed up. Clean it up like usual. I got tons of junk everywhere. My glove box is falling apart, glove box door, and I got junk collector. Yep, junk collector, junk. Even got a Corvette valve air cleaner cover. Yep, among the junk.